Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the transition ceremony for the graduating class of fall 2023. This ceremonial rite of passage signifies that 7th trimester students have demonstrated the knowledge and skills required to advance to the next stage of their clinical education. In addition, we will recognize members of the class for their special achievements in academic and clinical excellence, as well as their service to the college. I would like to welcome the families and friends who joined us in person today for this important event. The ceremony is also broadcasted live to allow as many people as possible to celebrate the accomplishments of our students. I now invite all faculty present to please stand and be recognized for your dedication and commitment to academic excellence, leadership, and professional best practices. It is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Christine Cunningham, Associate Professor in the Department of Foundational Sciences, who will present the Distinguished Service in Foundational Sciences Award.
Good afternoon, everybody. The Distinguished Service in Foundational Sciences Award is presented to a member of the current 7th trimester class who has demonstrated an astute interest in the foundational sciences curriculum as evidenced by grade point average, service through tutoring, and serving as a teaching assistant above and beyond conventional expectation. The recipient of the Distinguished Service in Foundational Science Award is Shira Lowe. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Fiona Jarrett Thelwell, Professor in the Department of Clinical Sciences, who will present the Diagnostic Imaging Award.
Good afternoon, everyone. The radiology curriculum at Northeast College is extensive and extremely demanding. This award recognizes a 7th trimester student who has demonstrated excellence and distinction in the diagnostic imaging portion of the chiropractic program. The recipient of the Diagnostic Imaging Award is Troy Zanger. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Larissa Martin, instructor in the Department of Integrated Chiropractic Therapies, who will present the Dr. Frank P. DiGiacomo Technique Award.
The Chiropractic Technique Award is especially meaningful because to many, technique represents the distinguishing difference between our profession and all others. The Dr. Frank P. DiGiacomo Technique Award is presented to a 7th trimester student who has demonstrated competency and mastery of the subject material, and by virtue of their ability, received endorsement by the Integrated Chiropractic Therapies faculty and others appropriate to the evaluation. The recipient of the Dr. Frank P. DiGiacomo Technique Award is Ryan Kerner. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jose Balseca, instructor in the Department of Integrated Chiropractic Therapies, who will present the Distinguished Accomplishment in Diagnosis Award.
The Distinguished Accomplishment in Diagnosis Award is presented to a member of the 7th trimester class who has demonstrated excellence in the area of diagnostic sciences. Candidates for this award must meet a course grade requirement and have served as a tutor and/or teaching assistant. The individual's dedication, service, and performance must be above and beyond conventional expectations. The recipient of this award, by the virtue of their ability, has received endorsement by the diagnosis faculty. The recipient of the Distinguished Accomplishment in Diagnosis Award is Troy Zanger. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. William Loretti, professor in the Department of Principles of Healthcare Practice, who will present the Lloyd E. Henby Distinguished Service Award.
The Lloyd E. Henby Distinguished Service Award is given to honor the memory of Dr. Henby, who perpetually demonstrated a strong passion and commitment to the college and to the students he taught. This award recognizes the recipient's efforts in advancing the principles of the chiropractic profession through strong moral character, education, leadership, and service to the community and the profession. The recipient of the Lloyd E. Henby Distinguished Service Award is Cal Foster. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Nick Poirier, Assistant Vice President of Academic Affairs, to the podium to present the Academic Achievement Award.
The Academic Achievement Award for National Boards is presented to the Doctor of Chiropractic student who has demonstrated outstanding performance on Part 1 and/or Part 2 of national boards by achieving an overall average of 600 or greater on all sections of the examinations, with no single section score below 450. The Academic Achievement Award recipients are Courtney Slack for Part 1, Kevin Strong for Part 1, Carl Forster for Part 2, Shamik Mosby for Part 2, and Troy Zanger for Parts 1 and 2. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Michael Meston, President of Northeast College of Health Sciences, to present the Distinguished Service Award, the Kenneth W. Paget Scholarship, and the Standard Process Scholarship. Dr. Meston.
In recognition of their outstanding dedication and service to the entire Northeast College community during their 7 trimesters, I am pleased to present the Distinguished Service Awards to Cal Forster, Shamik Mosby, Vikram Rai, Courtney Sayer, Jonathan Scudder, and Abigail Warner. Please come up. The Kenneth W. Paget Scholarship is given in honor of Northeast current chancellor and past president of this institution from 1989 to 2000. Among his many accomplishments, Dr. Paget served as president of the American Chiropractic Association, president of the New York State Chiropractic Association, and continues to participate as a board member of the Association for the History of Chiropractic. The Kenneth W. Paget Scholarship is awarded to a 7th trimester student who has earned a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher and was selected for the best essay addressing the following. Upon graduation from the leading institution of chiropractic education, you'll be one of the best trained doctors of chiropractic. As in most professions, there are sometimes differences of opinion and views between chiropractic practitioners. Explain how you will work with other doctors of chiropractic to unify and advance the chiropractic profession. The recipient of the Kenneth W. Paget Scholarship is Callie Cater. Callie, please come forward. Standard Process is the foremost supplier and producer of whole foods nutritional supplements and is recognized for its attention to quality. The company is also a significant supporter of chiropractic education, research, and a wonderful supporter of our college. In fact, this fitness center is named in their honor. The Standard Process Scholarship is awarded to a 7th trimester student who earned a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher and was selected for the best essay addressing the following. The whole food philosophy of Standard Process was developed in 1929 by the company's founder, Dr. Royal Lee, who believed the best sources of vitamins and minerals are found in whole foods. The pandemic of 2020 created an elevated public awareness of the need for better self-care and support of our immune systems. What guidance on dietary habits and the use of supplementation do you plan to offer your future patients? The recipient of the Standard Process Scholarship is Christina Gagliatiotto.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the speaker for today's transition ceremony. Dr. Ashley Williams graduated from Northeast College of Health Sciences in November 2020 and completed their clinical chiropractic education at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. She holds a master's degree in ergonomics and biomechanics from New York University, 2 bachelor's degrees in engineering and physics from Columbia University and Jacksonville University, respectively, and an Associate of Occupational Studies in Massage Therapy from Swedish Institute College of Health Sciences, where she currently serves as an adjunct professor of neurology, anatomy, and physiology. During her time as student at Northeast, she held multiple leadership positions and received multiple awards for her involvement in research. Her dedication to diversity, equity, and inclusion led her to found and establish the group Students for Social Diversity Awareness on campus. Currently, Dr. Williams is practicing chiropractic in Arlington, Virginia, where she specializes in sports injuries and rehabilitation. Her personal athletic accomplishments include multiple collegiate awards in track and field and over 13 years training in various dance styles. She competed on season 7 and season 8 of the hit TV show American Ninja Warrior, and currently maintains her own intellectual, physical, and mental health through her involvement in research, lecturing, bouldering, parkour, yoga, and meditation. Please help me welcome Dr. Ashley Williams.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so good to be back here and see so many familiar faces. And congratulations to you all. You are about to enter the clinical part of your education, where you will be put in charge of the care of your own patients. It's an exciting and challenging responsibility that I hope you will not take lightly. In your classes at Northeast, you have learned the science of chiropractic, and you have started honing your skills as an adjuster. And with time, you will begin developing your own style, because chiropractic is not only a science, but also an art. But there is another component of being a doctor that makes all the difference in the patient's experience when they come into your office. In clinic, you will come across patients from all different backgrounds and walks of life, and you will need to meet them where they are with compassion. So let me ask the class a question. How do you get better at adjusting? You practice. How do you get better at diagnosing different conditions? Good. And how do you get better at showing compassion? Good. Not a trick question, still practice. But with this one, how exactly do we go about practicing compassion? In school, we practice, and then we're tested on our adjusting skills. You sat in the hallways with your classmates, sweating bullets, trying to remember how to perform a prone, reinforced knife edge, tibiofemoral P to A glide, inflection. In school, we practiced and tested our diagnostic skills. You sat in a dark auditorium, staring down a collection of Dr. Warshall's x-rays, trying to determine why this particular speck of gray means something completely different than this other speck of gray. But it does, and you passed. So good. In school, we practice and we're tested on a multitude of knowledge and skills on purpose, so that we can recall and draw on those past experiences when needed. But as fellow humans, we are not necessarily tested in compassion until we find ourselves in a position where our compassion is needed. And so it seems to me that in order to practice compassion, it must be practiced on purpose. Some of you might say, well, isn't compassion more like a characteristic more than a skill? But I would submit to you that all characteristics are just skills waiting to be sharpened. You can be whatever you want to be, but you will be whatever you practice. And so compassion is a skill. It can be learned. It's not a skill that requires formal education like your other skills, but rather opportunities to be put in positions that require your compassion. In my second trimester as a student, I was given the opportunity to either take over an existing club or start a new club on campus. I gathered some of my friends who had similar concerns about the visibility and understanding of diversity in cultures, sexual orientation or gender identity, race, religion, differing abilities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Our desire was to make a space where students, faculty, and administration alike could meet each other, hear each other's stories, gain awareness, and in return, be met with compassion. I named our club Students for Social Diversity Awareness, or as you know, SSDA. And together we created a series of opportunities to put ourselves in positions where we could practice our compassion together and with others. The goal was not just to represent ourselves, but to choose to be an ally for someone else who deserves to tell their story and be met with compassion. Let me be frank. These conversations only work when we lead with our compassion and not with our anger. Anger is only useful momentarily. It can help us uncover what we would like to change, but anger itself is not a sustainable medium for change. Actions in anger yield more anger. Actions in compassion yield more compassion. And there is only one way for us to move forward together. So I have one more question for the class. What do you think a patient is seeking, or what are they looking for when they come to see you? Compassion? What else? Anything else? Understanding? Apathy? Yep. Or empathy? I think, and it is my opinion, but I think the first thing patients are really looking for when they come to see you is validation. Validation of their pain, validation of their story that got them to where they are in that moment. Now that you are transitioning into this new stage of your education as a chiropractor, you will spend almost every day from here on out listening to people's stories. Stories of their physical pain that's often accompanied by emotional pain. Over time, some of those stories will start to sound familiar or maybe even repetitive. And although you will get better and quicker and more confident in recognizing, diagnosing, and treating their pain, it is equally important to let them tell their story. Listen with the same level of attentiveness for your last patient of the day as you did for your first patient of the day. Because listening is the first step in practicing compassion. Only through listening can we become aware of what other people are going through. The second step in practicing compassion is validating their pain. They may say, I've been to this doctor and I've been to that doctor. I've had this procedure done. I've been doing all of these exercises I found on YouTube or TikTok, wherever. But I'm still in pain. Be prepared. Some people will cry when they tell you their story because pain, especially chronic pain, that no one else has been able to explain or resolve for them is emotional and it's frustrating. Or they might be really short with you because they're skeptical and they don't really know if you can actually do anything to help them. But just know that deep down, they hope you can, and that's why they came to see you. And when they tell you that they're in pain, believe them. To validate someone's experience is simply to believe them. And there will always be a few malingerers, but it never hurts you to begin with belief and validation. The final step in practicing compassion is simply behaving in a way that shows you care. That might be a nod. It might be saying, I hear you, or I'm sorry you've had to go through that. We all at one time or another have probably sat in front of another person in a moment of our own vulnerability, telling our own story, and we were not believed. Try to remember what that felt like. What did it feel like to be dismissed and to not be believed? Let that memory be your reminder to choose to be a compassionate doctor. So congratulations again on hitting this next milestone in your path to becoming a chiropractor. And I'll end with this, my charge to you. When you put on that white coat, strive for excellence in your interaction with patients. Practice to be excellent in your diagnostic skills. Practice to be excellent as an adjuster. And practice to be excellent in your compassion towards others. Thank you.
Excellent job. Dr. Williams, you want to join me? I have this certificate for you. Certificate of Appreciation and Recognition of your outstanding contributions to Northeast College of Health Sciences and to chiropractic. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Yes, excellent job.
Good to do that.
We will now begin the rite of passage. As students proceed across the stage, they will be greeted by representatives of each of the academic departments, symbolizing their successful matriculation through the preclinical portion of the program. Joining me on stage are Dr. Michael Zampano for the Department of Foundational Sciences, Dr. Fiona Jarrett-Thelwell for the Department of Clinical Sciences, Dr. Brett Carnevale for the Department of Integrated Chiropractic Therapies, Dr. Ilya Arar for the Department of Principles of Healthcare Practice, and Dr. Wendy Maneri for the Health Centers. At the end of the procession, the students will be ceremoniously helped into their white coat, signifying the start of their outpatient clinical training, and will then be greeted by Dr. Williams before they exit the stage. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Cunningham back to the podium to introduce the students for the rite of passage.
David Woodworth. Kevin Strong. Tristan Phillips. Cole Munson. Shira Laau. Adam Rodriguez. Adrian Estachio. Donovan Hodges. Christopher Singh. Shamik Mosby. Ryan Fife. Jonathan Scudder. Ryan Bowerman. Sina Dayansada. Nicholas Bush. Allison Rogers. Sarah Gavin. Callie Cater. Christian Wagner. Brent Leone. Augustus DeCastro. Anthony D'Amico. Debleen Candelaria. Vikram Rai. Rudolph Purple Geiger. Kaylin Smith. Gina Perrone. Courtney Slack. Christina Galtiotto. Sandro Carboni. Nicole Eckert. Kendra Plant. Jenna Patel. Alicia Kay. Navneet Dhaliwal. Cal Foster. Stephen Twasnio. Evely Pacheco. Charisse Harper. Danielle Kendall. Abigail Werner. Courtney Sayer. Josh Button. Victoria Franco. Monique Julian. Isis Perez Morales. Jonathan Arbito. Troy Zanger. Ryan Kerner. Brian Dickinson. Alexander Kern. Molly Roberts. Nicholas Iola. Colin Betleon. Jericho Miranda. And Raven Beeman. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Ann Killen, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, to the podium to present the meaning of the Northeast College of Health Sciences logo. Dr. Killen.
Thank you. Let me be one of the first to congratulate you on your white coats. You look so nice. The Northeast College of Health Sciences logo was designed to be a modern reflection of the icons on our official college seal. Each of the symbols on the shield represents an important, time-honored fundamental of our college. The flame represents the illumination of all in its light, casting ignorance into the shadows. The quill pen, immersed in an inkwell, signifies learning and open discourse, both academic and interpersonal. The open book illustrates the rich foundation of wisdom upon which the college is built and the lifelong pursuit of new knowledge, to which the college's scholars are clearly devoted. Congratulations.
It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lisa Barwinzak, faculty clinician in the Campus Health Center, to administer the chiropractic student oath.
Congratulations. So I'd like to ask all of you to stand and please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby affirm my dedication to the chiropractic profession as I continue with my clinical clerkship. I will strive to apply my knowledge and skills for the well-being of patients, engaging only in those practices which will bring honor upon myself and my profession. I will endeavor to work in a professional manner with my teachers and colleagues. I will never allow material advancement or prejudice in any form to interfere with the duty I owe my patients. I will respect the knowledge, skills, and experience of the doctors who allow me to learn under their licenses. I vow to practice chiropractic ethically and with dignity. In the presence of this gathering, I bind myself to this oath, making it solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Congratulations.
You may be seated. This concludes today's transition ceremony. Congratulations to all of you for reaching this important milestone. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I wish you continued success in the next stage of your clinical education. To the family members and friends who joined us in person and remotely today, we would like to thank you for your continued support of these future doctors of chiropractic. After the ceremony, we ask the students to come up to the stage to get your class picture taken before joining your families. Please be well and have a wonderful rest of your day.